Oh, hey.
These two raced earlier, and Sally the victor. Roger Victor is the vector. Sorry, Ocker the Focus Chocker. Sally's changed bicycles now. She's no longer on the stolen green Diverse, she's now on the stolen orange Alchemy. It looks like it's Dave Thomas's bike, I think.
Yeah. So surprisingly handlebars.
Winning a prize is handlebars.
Oh, going
Sally
early.
makes an early move. Jennifer has to chase. She's done it from a good 500 metres out to the finish. Jennifer with a lot of work to do if she's to pull that back. Both girls flat chat. Bell rings. 300 metres to go. Sally grits her teeth. Jennifer hasn't given up. She's still chasing hard. You can see the importance of surprise. Sally took out that distance when she first made the jump, and it's held it. If you can get a gap on that rider in front of you and hold them out of your slipstream, and Jennifer capitulates. So Sally will take third today.
Well done, Sally.
Sal made the move, rolled the dice.
Just saying. Why did she start at the top?
I don't know.
Get in the drop.
So Meg leads out. Jane following.
That's a go,
In the
Meg.
last race these two had, Meg took off early, and Jane got jumped and never managed to quite get back up.
Still watch
She
her.
might have learned something from that,
Girl.
and so will have Meg. Remember, this is Meg's 4th ever track race. If you don't include a flying 200, if you do, it's her 5th.
Pretty good.
Jane putting a bit of pressure on the outside. Meg responding and keeping her on her hip.
Move up, move up.
A little bit of height comes through turn 3.
Push up, push
The
up.
pace is on as they're coming to turn 4, but no one's really committed to the jump. Now Meg makes a move. Starts to ramp up the pace. Jane comfortably on her hip. You can see the difference in the gears the two girls are riding. Meg with a much higher cadence.
Come, Meg.
Coming around 250 metres to go. Meg's still reasonably comfortable. The jump is on now, but it's happening from a higher speed. Jane's got a lot of chasing to do. You can see she's maxing the gears to try and catch Meg, who's jumped clear. Coming into turn 3. Meg's still skipping away. You can see the difference again in the gears. Jane's starting to catch up as she gets on top of that gear.
Come on.
But I don't think she's going to get it quite in time. And Meg's going to win B grade, Jane second.
It's actually first place, first, second. We've had a mechanical for 3 and 4, so we're going to run them in a little while.
Okay, so this is, as Sue points out, the race for first. Jordan Hassett and Jacob Mumford. Jacob previously has done a lot of jumping around and keeping people guessing, but this time he's leading it out. George makes a bit of a move from behind, tries to take advantage of her ability, and she's got around Jacob and forced him to respond. And she's opening up a bit of a gap.
She is tearing
And
it up.
Jacob chased that down. He's going a long way out, so this is going to be a pretty decent dig if she manages to hold him off. Jacob working hard behind her. He's got probably just a little bit of draft there, a little bit of assistance. George digging deep. Jacob chasing hard. 200 metres to go. The gap not shrinking yet. Now Jacob starts to accelerate down the back straight a little bit, and he's reeling her in. Can she lift around the last corner and hold him off? Oh, it's going to be pretty close. Here comes Jacob around the outside. He comes off the wheel. And it's a desperate charge to the line now. A lot of wobbling around as they come through, and I think Jacob by half a bike. What a great move there from Jordan, made him underway now. Christian John Tucker racing for B grade, I think. Yep, we're still waiting on the C graders who have an issue. But Chris and John are now racing for 3rd place in B grade. Chris in the white, John in the black. Chris riding a fairly assertive line there, not giving John an awful lot of room. Pressing him up, saying, "Oh, this is the fence up here, how do you like it?" But, John's a big strong lad and he's pretty hard to push around. The pace lifting as they come through turn 3. Under the evil fast food vendor sign, still no actual move as such, but the pace up. Chris just jamming John up a little bit coming out of the bend. This is a place where moves usually happen, and it does. Chris dives down into the lane and takes it. John chasing around the outside. Chris just a bike length in front at the moment. John drops down into the slipstream. A little bit of a gap opening up. Is he going to be able to use that to run him down and get speed coming around the last bend? We'll see. Chris is very good on this track. So it pops up, a little bit of a wobble, and he's gone way high, and that's scrubbed all his speed off. And he capitulates. And Chris Dan, third place in C grade. Sue keeping a very close eye on the two ladies. Laura looking for an opportunity to duck underneath if she can. And keeping an eye on her. In the distance. This looks like it's the race for first in B grade. We have Nick Abels and Callum Parlevley. Nick the fewer sprinter of the two. Keeping a close eye on Callum. Callum running around the side, trying to get a bit of speed off the bank. But Nick says, you want to play that game? I can do it too. And Callum makes a move early around the outside. Nick's going to have to try and hold him on his hip for 2 laps. Callum, a very aggressive rider. I don't mean that in a bad way at all. He's a very fair rider, but he likes to roll the dice and work hard. Nick with the lead at the moment. Callum chasing hard. You can see how hard he's working to try and stay on Nick's wheel. 200 metres to go. Callum comes round onto Nick's hip. Now Nick's going to have to lift through the last bend. Has he got it left in him to hold him off? At the moment, it might just be able to do it as Nick just extends out a little bit round that corner, holds it nice and neat, and Nick Abels over Callum Parlevley. So Nick wins Feathers home. I've got guinea pigs and they're herbivores, they won't eat them. They like carrot tops, thank you very much, Lisa Hocking, who I haven't asked yet, but she may end up being the commissaire at the next round, if we ask her really nicely, depending on the date. So we have a race underway at the moment, and it is the race for third place in A grade. Connor Rowley in the Blackburn kit, Dino Appolito in the ABOC kit. Dino leading it out at the moment with the disc wheel on the back. Callum laying off a good 2 bike lengths, a sensible distance on this track. You don't want to give too much distance on this track. Unlike disc, you don't get it back if someone jumps. If the bank just doesn't give you enough of a run. The pace being forced from behind. Dino still waiting patiently. Connor makes the move. Dino very slow to react. Connor skips around him now. Dino's going to have a lot of work to do if he pulls him back. Dino out of saddle chasing hard. Connor's got to ride a nice fleet line. Can Dino make the pass around the outside? The speed's on there and you can see Dino starting to pull him back. Comes off the wheel around the bend, chasing hard. It's going to be all the way to line this one. Oh, I can't pick that one. That's going to be one for the commissaires. Dino with a smile on his face.
Very soon.
Yep. Okay.
Long day, and I thought I was just stuck.
So now we have the final for A. David Koroknai in the Carnegie kit, Neil in the ABOC kit. Very close press around the outside here. Neil no stranger to being pushed around. Dino gave him a decent whack in the last lane, in the last race. Which was, I think Neil may well have been fined after that. Some interesting discussion occurred after it, all in good nature, but let's just say there was a few words mentioned on the banned list. Neil picks the pace up, David responds. David keeping a close eye on Neil. Both these riders undefeated today so far. And now the pace is absolutely on as they come into the lane. David still holding Neil up, not letting him get into the lane, pushing him wide, but Neil with a bit of a layoff. And again, there's that classic move. David's giving his back wheel around there a little bit, trying to get so much power, but Neil on that bigger gear. Watch him start to wind him in, coming around the last bend. Here they come. David stays in the lane, nice and neat. Neil coming very hard around the outside. Oh, I think Neil got that one, but I can't be sure. Very, very close. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Bev. Happy birthday to Bev. Happy birthday to Bev.
Happy birthday to Bev.
Happy birthday, Bev. And the last race now underway. Johnny Lewis in the black. Merv Tracy in the white.
Can't sweat, Merv.
They're in the Collingwood chair squad. Someone's got the 2. Actually, they probably they've both lost their 2. Apparently there's 2 Collingwood cheer squads, the one that Eddie says yes to and the one that sits behind them that beats them up.
What's happening, boy?
Nothing much. Yourself?
Not much.
And with a lap and a half to go, Johnny Lewis leading it out.
I've got a bad knee, so I've got scratched.
Merv sitting very close on John's wheel. John just lifting the pace a little bit. I think this will probably suit John. Bell rings. 300 metres, 307 metres left to go in today's racing. Merv makes a move around the outside and kicks, but John immediately responds. Merv sitting wide, John just a little bit more acceleration. Merv grits his teeth. John wants to hold him off. This is for an envelope. And envelopes are pretty significant. I haven't got very many of them. John's still holding the lead. Merv coming. And they're coming up the line. Merv's getting pretty close. But I think Johnny Lewis for half a bike from my idea here. And that's the racing.